Alex here, and welcome back to another video of World Conqueror 2. So as you guys can tell from the title, this is episode 9 of Tips and Tricks in World Conqueror 2. So I know it's been a really long time since I've uploaded one of these videos, but we actually stopped at the aircraft carrier last time. We went through we uploaded a video on tips and tricks, and it was about the aircraft carrier, and it was like in 2016, like late 2016. So it's a really long time ago, and I want to just reboot this series right here by looking at the various Air Force related things you could do in World Conqueror 2, and then I'll be moving on into like the overall strategy of the game in the final video of this series, which will be coming like I guess pretty soon. So stay tuned for the future episodes, and of course the grand strategy that I like to use right there. And so this episode 9, we are going to take a look at the airstrike. So just a quick I guess look at its basic mechanics. It costs 90 income points and 40 wrenches, and the airstrike is sort of a unique kind of mechanic right here. So once I start to use the airstrike, the enemy unit can't really attack back, so it will deal like a random amount of damage ranging from like I think about 15 to 45. So 45 damage is 40 or 45, I can't really remember. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it should be 45. This maximum damage is only achievable once you upgrade your Air Force medal to at least a bronze Air Force medal, which will increase the attack power of the aircraft. So it is really sort of like throwing a dice, and you get like different results every single time you use the airstrike. Sometimes it deals like 25 damage, sometimes it deals 30, and it's really random, and it's not really a reliable way to, like, I guess, did I really just say, yeah, but it's not really a reliable way if you want to take out like a lot of enemy units fast. I would much rather prefer to use land units instead, because land units can they are sort of more value in that sense, because you could keep using them and you could heal them up in cities, and then they can fight again. But the airstrike is really good at dealing against enemy units that are particularly annoying, and you can't really get to them because they are like sitting safe outside of the front lines and behind the enemy position, so you can't really get to them. For example, this aircraft carrier right here is sitting behind enemy lines, and I can't really get to this aircraft carrier, and I can destroy it with my land forces. That's where the airstrike will come in handy. It allows me to basically attack the aircraft carrier, provided that I have enough range, which of course I don't. But it is also really useful at taking out enemy commanders. It is one of the best ways, in fact, if the commander is not in an areas that has anti-aircraft or radar, then airstrikes will be a really quick way to deal out a lot of damage to the enemy commander. And the reason why I said is why I will say it is probably one of the best ways to kill an enemy commander is because your units don't take any damage. Because let's say if I want to use this tank and attack, the enemy commander dishes out a lot of damage, and that is really not good for the units that I'm using to attack the enemy, because it will just die and I have to replace it. That's where airstrikes come in once again, and we can basically just chip away at the enemy units, especially the commanders, and eventually we can basically destroy the enemy commander outright and gain the initiative on the battlefield. So airstrike in general is sort of a little bit like a double-edged sword, if you get what I mean, and it's really a big no-no to use an airstrike when you have a relatively weak economy. So for example, I'm playing as maybe Romania in 1943, and the Soviets really do have a big advantage right here, and I have a really weak economy compared to the enemy, which in this case is the Soviet Union. And not only that, they can also produce units faster than me, so that is where you don't want to use an airstrike, because it drains your resources really fast. And because the airstrike actually costs like quite a bit more than an infantry unit, I would much rather prefer to use infantry units to hold off the Soviet attack rather than use an airstrike to try and chip away at the units, because they can easily replace those losses. So that is one situation where you don't want to use the airstrike. And another scenario when you don't want to use the airstrike is when the unit that you want to attack with the airstrike is in an area that's equipped with either an anti-aircraft gun or the radar right here. And what these two does is basically like drastically reduce the attack power of aircraft. So let's say I want to attack maybe okay, let's see right here. Let's say I want to attack Montgomery in London, and London has an anti-aircraft gun. So as we attack Patton just now, it dealt out about 20 damage if I'm not wrong. But let's look at how much damage it deals to Montgomery. Only 12. Sometimes it can go down to like 7, and really using infantry is way better than using an airstrike when the unit is in an area that is defended by anti-aircraft or radar. But for radar, it's slightly less effective. It can usually deal about 15 damage if once again, if I can remember correctly. So those are really the two like main things you want to keep a lookout for. Never use an airstrike when you have like a really weak economy, and when the enemy is in an area that is defended by either the anti-aircraft or the radar. But yeah, but it's really a very interesting unit, to say the least. Really interesting mechanic that it really adds a whole new level of like depth to the game. Really, I guess it's a really unique thing, and I really like it. I really like the the airstrike. And yeah, so that is going to do it for this video. So in the next episode, which will be coming out shortly, we will be taking a look at the bomber, which is basically a more advanced version of the airstrike, I guess. And then we'll take a look at the airborne infantry, and then the nuclear bomb, and then in the last episode of the tips and tricks series, we will be taking a look at the grand strategy of the game that I like to employ. And that is about it for this video. So once again, thanks all of you for making it until the end of this video. If you have liked this video, please do remember to leave a like, and if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and of course, goodbye.